The word of the week, or the word of 2 weeks, is imbibition. Do you know what it means? Good. I'm glad. It means hydrating. Well, it means the movement of fluid through motion. Now, I'm using it with respect to our spine. Our spine does not get fluid on its own through blood supply. So the way it gets lubricated is through imbibition. And that means as you move your spine, your discs move around, and that's what causes the fluid and blood flow to get to your spine. And that's what's going to prevent everybody from shrinking as we age. So imbibition, that and osmosis, which you know what that means, right? Because we did that in college. Osmosis, put your head on a book and then you just get smart. It didn't work for me. But the only 2 ways your spine gets to stay nimble. So I invite you to start with a straight spine, any way that you like. Even if you want to lie on your back, that's fine too. We're going to breathe to start with, and make sure that your head's right on top of your shoulders and that you have a normal lumbar curve and that your shoulders are relaxed, and just focus on the breath. Tune inward. And then as you focus on your breath, gradually expand your breath, deepen it, make it longer. Follow the breath in through the nose. Imagine it going and expanding your lungs. Imagine as it expands your rib cage, and see it as it expands your belly like a balloon. And then slowly allow the balloon to deflate. Slow, even, long, and full breaths. And just as you're sitting here, just remember your posture. Don't allow your chin to jut forward. Remember, every inch that your head tilts forward from vertical puts extra 10 pounds of pressure on your spine. And now as you follow your breath, count to yourself the number of beats it takes to inhale. Whatever that is, it doesn't matter. But see if you can make your exhalation 2 or 3 beats longer than whatever your inhalation is. Always exhaling through the nose. And when you do this with the prolonged exhalation, it generally has a very calming effect on the nervous system. And the opposite of that is making your inhalation longer than your exhalation. And that'll give you a boost of energy. So why don't you try that for a couple of breaths? See if you can inhale 2 to 3 beats more than you exhale. Okay, finish up whatever round of big, deep yoga breath you're on, and then bring your breathing back to normal. Normal breathing, meaning chest breathing, breathing that you don't think about, but you just do. And then please, let's take a deep breath in together and Om in. Om. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner teacher. So you new yogis may not know what oming is all about. Do you?
No.
Okay, good. I'll tell you. It's a way of tuning in, calming the mind, and Om is the divine sound of the divine universe. It's like the universal divine sound. It's Om. Om. And what that does is it connects you with your spirit. It tunes yourself, you're into yourself, and it gives you a vibration. When a whole room of people do it together, it gives like a vibration that's really sort of, I can't even explain it. It's like so eerily energetic, just the vibration of the Om. But it's a symbol that my yoga is made up with, my logo is made up with. Do you have it on? On the back? Turn around real quick for just a second so I can just show what this is. Okay, this is my logo. If you take away the kitty cat, that's the Om symbol, the three with the little tail and this thing.
Okay.
And that has meaning. All of it has meanings. It's the 3 stages of consciousness plus what keeps us from our bliss, which is that little line. And that's what we try to get at. We get beyond the line to the little dot, to get to our blissful state. That's what yoga is all about, is to get to a blissful state. Next time I'll tell you about the tree, the yoga tree, the 8 limbs of yoga. All right, let's take our hands to our heart center. Inhale, push up the fingertips. Exhale, bring your arms in a T. Inhale. Exhale, twist right, and then let the hands float down, keeping your body vertical as you twist. Inhale here. Exhale back to center. Hands come to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, right hand floats down, left arm beside the ear. Push the fingertips over, push down into your left sit bone and keep the shoulder back. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Inhale, heart, hands to heart center. Push the fingertips up. Exhale, arms in a T. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the left. Arms float down. Hand comes to the outside of the leg. Left hand behind you. Keep your spine vertical and make sure your head stays on top of the shoulders. Chin parallel to the ground. Push the right hip forward slightly to help the twist. Inhale here. Exhale all the way back to center. Hands to heart center, push up as you inhale. Exhale, left hand down, right arm by the ear. Push the right fingertips and away, and then push down into your right sit bone. Keep the shoulder back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let that hand float down. Bring your hands to your shins. Tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin, and push your spine backwards in a C shape toward the back of the room. And as you do this, feel how your shoulder blades are separating and your vertebrae are separating. And then inhale as you bring your chest open forward and push your shoulders back, your head forward, and push your tailbone back. So now you're in a slight back bend. And then again, we'll go back to the C shape, curling the spine. This is a flexion of the spine, and then come forward. And this is the extension of the spine as you push your tailbone back, head forward, shoulders back. So these are the 6 spinal movements: your bends, your 2 twists, and your forward and backward. And those spinal movements are what we should be doing with our spine every day to stay healthy, or some version of these movements. Please come to Dandasana, staff pose. Your feet are up and flexed, your knees are up, and bring your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Okay, now just take a couple of breaths here, thinking about where your head is, that your body is in a perfect L shape, and that you have a neutral lower back. Good. Your chin is parallel to the ground. Feet are flexed so that you can feel your muscles now. Good. Okay, put your hands by your hips, keep your chest open, and lean forward from your hip crease. Keep your feet flexed. You don't have to come very far to feel this. This is a hamstring stretch, but also if you keep your lower back in your neutral arch, you should feel something stretch in your lower back as well. You won't feel it if you're hunching your back, but if you just push your chest forward and push your tailbone back, you might feel your low back stretch. And then come back upright, and then bring your hands behind you, fingers pointing to your feet, and then push your chest up toward the ceiling, push your shoulders back, and take a couple of breaths here with a nice open chest. And then back to center. Once again, hands beside your hips, keep your feet flexed, come from the hip crease, forward, feeling the stretch in your hamstrings and hopefully maybe your low back. Does anybody feel it in their low back? Can you feel it down here? Yeah. Good. And then once more, come back up. Fingers behind, pointing towards your feet. Just push your chest up to the ceiling. Push your shoulder blades together on your back. And then come back upright. So these hamstring stretches are great for the bicycle rides, and this shoulder opener is great for tennis. Shoulder stretch. Let's come to table position. Had your knees here as needed. Okay, so now we're going to similar 6 spinal movements, the lateral, the forward, back, and twist. We're going to hit all of them from this position here. So take a deep breath with a flat back. Exhale, sit back to your heels, just elongating the spine right now. And I always say this is greasing our hinges, lubricating our joints, and then slowly come back to table on an inhale. And then exhale, tuck your toes under, tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin and arch your spine to the ceiling. Push the mat away so you can really feel your back open. Good. And then inhale, uncurl your toes, drop your belly down, keep your arms straight and head, chest forward and head forward. So you're in a hammock back. This is your cow pose. Feel the difference in your spine between this is the extension. And then go all the way back to your heels, child pose. Keep the forearms up off the mat. So you want to stretch your arms forward. Yeah, good. And then come back up to table. Okay, once more, we're going to go into our cat pose. Tuck the chin, tailbone, arch the spine, push the mat away, straighten the arms if you can. Feel your shoulder blades separate on your back. And then inhale as you uncurl your toes, drop your belly down, push the tailbone to the ceiling. Good. Exhale all the way back to your heels. So that's the flexion and extension of the spine, 2 of the 6 spinal movements. Inhale back to table. Exhale, take your right arm out to the side, up toward the ceiling in a twist. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your arm down and thread it underneath your other arm. Then come on down for the shoulder stretch. So you bring your head down to the mat, or you can put your head on a block or bolster, whatever you have. And then allow that shoulder, just your right shoulder to stretch down here. This is a really good tennis player shoulder stretch. Okay, unravel your thread. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Tuck your chin, bring your nose to your knee and push the mat away. So this is just like your cat pose, except your knee is up now. Your spine is still flexed. Feel your vertebrae separate. And then inhale as you kick your legs straight back behind you, and then put your toes down on the mat behind you. Now, walk the foot over to the left and look over your left shoulder. So this is one of the 6 spinal movements, is a lateral movement of your spine. You're opening up the right side.
Good for the hip too.
Very good for the hip. If you can feel that, that's great. Okay, take a deep breath. Exhale, bring your foot back behind you and lift the leg so it's parallel to the mat. And left arm comes up into our balancing table. So this is the core strengthener. Keep your head in line with the spine here. Make your neck long here. And breathe. Engage all your core muscles and breathe. Good. Hand comes down. Bring your knee in. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, sit back to your heels. Inhale, back to table. Exhale, left arm out to the side and up toward the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale, thread the left arm under and come on to stretch that shoulder. Slowly unthread. Come back to table. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, left knee comes into your chest. Tuck your chin, nose to knee, and flex the spine. Push that mat away. Make your back arch to the ceiling. No, we're still flexing for a couple of breaths here. Flexing the spine. Good. Now kick the legs straight back. Put the toes down. Toes come down. Toes come down. And then move your foot over to the right. So you're looking over your right shoulder. So this is the lateral flexion on this side. Now pick up your left foot and bring it straight behind you again. Lift the leg so it's parallel to the mat. And now we come into the balancing table on this side. Okay, one more breath. Hand comes down, knee comes in. You might want to move back on your mat a little bit because we're going to come into a puppy pose, which means you're going to walk your hands way forward, and your bottom is going to be pointing toward the ceiling. So as far as your hands will walk forward, don't let your forearms come onto the mat. Your forearms stay up. Spread your fingers wide. Put an arch in your back like you're sticking your tailbone up toward the ceiling. And then let your head melt between your arms. Now, if you can, squeeze your forearms toward each other and take the eye of your elbow so that it's facing up. This is the eye of the elbow. So if you squeeze your forearms toward each other, that eye of the elbow goes in and up. And that hopefully has the effect of opening your shoulders. Puppy pose. Good. So this is what you want to feel when you come into your downward facing dog. This kind of opening of the shoulders and stretching of the upper spine. Rock your hands back to the table and then come onto your bellies. And prop up onto your forearms. Bring your elbows underneath the shoulders and have your hands parallel to each other, shoulder width apart. Good. Press down into your pelvis, press down into your thighs. Think about rolling your thighs inward toward each other, meaning they're going in this way on the mat. It's a very slight movement, but you can feel it. If you think it, it'll happen. And what that does is hopefully it opens up your lower back area. This is called Sphinx pose. It's a very mild back bend. Bring your chest forward and up. Unless you were doing that on purpose. Sort of, okay. And now pull the mat toward you and push your chest forward and your shoulders down your back. Sphinx pose. Keep all the while pushing your pelvis into the mat, pushing your thighs into the mat. Push your shoulders down. Think about a long neck here. Long neck. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. If you can push the tops of your feet into the mat, do that too. I know that doesn't happen for everybody. So from here, tuck your toes under, push up into your forearms and come into a forearm plank. Thinking about a straight line from the top of your head to your heels. Good. This is really, really good for core strength. Core strength is on your forearms, though, Paul, on your forearms. Yeah, and then walk your feet back to a straight line. You're coming into a downward dog. This is a forearm plank. It's like this. Oh, he's not doing it, but that's okay. John is. Look at John. You were doing it. You just came down. Okay, come on down. You can't? Oh, gosh. 8 hours is the record, yeah. Okay, you can come down anytime you want to, John. So now take your right arm and pivot it so that it's parallel to the front of the mat. And then we're going to roll onto our right hip. And then we're going to push into a plank this way. So you're going to lift your hips. You can stack your feet on top of each other or put one in front of each other. And then push your hips up and lift up with your left arm. Your forearm plank. Yeah, good, good, good. Good, good, good. All right, come on down. Bring the hand down, come back onto your bellies, back to Sphinx pose. So reset your spine here into Sphinx. Forearms are parallel, fingers wide. Drag your arms towards you so that you can push your chest forward and your head up, nice and long neck. Flatten the feet if you can, push into your feet if you can, push into your thighs, roll your thighs inward. Sphinx, this is a mild back bend, really good for you. Okay. Now we'll come into a forearm plank again. So forearms stay down and your butt doesn't go in the air. You just tuck your toes and just lift your whole body into a plank. One straight line from the top of your head to your toes. Good. Okay, so this is the 8-hour countdown right here. A 61-year-old man did this for 8 hours. Okay. Pelvis comes down.
And then after that, he died.
You can come down now.
But he died happy.
He had the record. I think the record for women is 6 hours. All right, from here, we're going to rotate the left arm parallel to the edge of the mat, come onto the left hip, and then we're going to push our hips up into a forearm side plank on this side. Good. Okay, come on down, back to Sphinx, and cross your arms in front of you just briefly. Rest your head before we move on to the next. Okay, Okay, please now bring your arms to a T, palms facing down. We're going to roll onto our right hip and our right shoulder and take your left leg and put it behind your right leg. That makes sense? Okay, so we're going to roll onto our right hip and right shoulder and then take your left leg and put it behind your right leg on the mat. You got it. Good. Okay, so this is a shoulder stretch. And then you're going to take your left hand closer, bring it closer to your body, and maybe even push a little bit into that hand so you can feel more of a stretch in the shoulder. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So this is all for the right shoulder here. Now, or you could do what David's doing and wrap your arm around the back if you'd like. That just opens the other shoulder too. We'll roll back to your bellies. Now bring both arms by your sides, palms facing up. Okay, think about your head staying in line with the spine and push into your pelvis, push into your thighs, and lift your feet off the mat about 6 inches. Good. Now pick your hands off the mat, push your fingers to the back of the mat lift your hands about 6 inches and push your fingers to the back of your mat. So this is called locust pose. You still want to be rotating your thighs inward slightly as you do this, but think about making your legs longer and your arms longer as you stretch all 4 limbs to the back of your mat. Really good. Good, good, good. Okay, and then come all the way down. Arms come into a T, palms down. And roll on now to the left hip and the left shoulder. Take the right leg and put it behind the left leg. Your knees can be bent here. And then you can take your right hand, either push into the mat in front of you to put leverage on that shoulder, or take it and wrap it around your back if you prefer. So this is the type of shoulder stretch that tennis players should do every day. Not only tennis players, but I'm saying because we've got an avid tennis player in here, maybe 2. Do you play tennis, John?
No.
Okay.
I play golf.
Okay, well, this is good for golf too.
Yeah.
And okay, roll back into your bellies, and I'll tell you, because Phil Duke, whose house you bought, said that he started yoga and then it improved his golf score by how much, David? His swing is. Bring your arms in front, rest your head into crocodile. Okay, take your hands underneath your shoulders and then widen them to the edges of the mat so that they're nice and wide, but they're in line with your chest. Okay, good. All right, now push into your hands, push into your pelvis, and lift your chest up. Okay, so this is a wide cobra. Bring your left shoulder forward, bring your right shoulder back, and look behind you in a twist. Good. Come back forward, and then come all the way down briefly. Now see if you can see my elbows. See if you can keep your elbows pointing backwards instead of outward like this, and then push into your hands and your pelvis and come up again with your elbows pointing backwards. Good. Okay, right shoulder comes forward, left shoulder goes back, and look behind you. And then come all the way back forward, and then all the way back down. And then push into your hands, come up to your knees onto table pose. Very, very good. Okay, so we're going to come into downward dog, and I want you to experiment with this in your body. So like we did in puppy pose, your hands are going to be wide, and the eye of the elbow, the idea is to eventually get the eye of the elbow pushing forward and up, and you're rolling the shoulder out. So feel how that does that? Just before you even lift your knees, just squeeze your forearms together. And do you feel what that does to your shoulders? Yeah, good. Good, good, good. And I was just going to say, you can make your hands diagonal if you like, because that might help open the shoulder. Most yoga schools make you put your fingers forward, but I think it's better to learn dog with your fingers at a diagonal. Okay, so with this, tuck your toes, lift your hips, keep your knees bent, and stick your butt way up in the air. Knees bent, butt in the air. Put arch in your low back. That looks good. Let your head between your arms. Okay, and now bend your knees a lot and walk up to your hands. So on your own, experiment with your dog because everybody's different. Don't worry about your heels getting down, that comes later, but you can adjust the distance between your hands and your feet to suit your body, and everybody's different. But you can see what I'm doing with my arms, rolling the shoulder out. That's the idea. And eventually your fingers can come forward, but for now, just having a slight angle to help do all of that. Okay. Tadasana, mountain pose. This is your perfect posture. So as you are here, think about your breath, think about where your head is on top of your shoulders. Not allowing your chin to jut forward. Your legs are parallel, your feet are right underneath your hips, your belly's in, shoulders down, chest open, thighs are rolled in slightly. So this is a restful pose, but it's an active rest. You should feel your muscles here. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, crescent to the right. So as you do this, try to keep your body in a plane as if there's a wall behind you. Don't bring your shoulder forward. Just keep your body in a nice plane. And then come up to center. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And Tadasana. So they call this Anjali Mudra. We call this Anjali Mudra. Okay, inhale, reach up. Exhale, flip your left palm up. Take your right hand and grab your left wrist, pushing it up to the ceiling. Turn your body slightly to the left, and then now lean slightly backward as you use your right hand to pull your arm. So this is a very slight backward lateral bend. Come back to center. Put your arms in a T. Back to Anjali Mudra and Tadasana. Inhale up. Exhale, pick your left hand. What did I just do last time? No, I'm not going the other way. No, I don't want to go the other. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. Right hand grabs the left wrist, and then you turn your body to the right slightly. And now you come forward, pulling your arm with you. So this is a forward stretch of the shoulder. And then come back to center. Inhale, arms in a T. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Okay, so do all that the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push up. Exhale, crescent left. So now your body's in a plane. Nice lateral movement here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. This time the right hand flips up. Left hand grabs the right wrist. You turn slightly to the right and lean backward. Good. Back to center. Release. Arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And now arms go up. Right hand down. Left hand grabs the right wrist. Turn your body slightly to the left. And now you're going to pull this shoulder forward. Really pull on that right wrist and feel that shoulder stretch. Feel it all the way down the top of your back too. And then back to center. Release, inhale, exhale, arms in a T, Anjali Mudra, and Tadasana, mountain pose. Reset the button. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. So if you would like, this is a balancing pose, and I think we've all done it before, I think, but you'll recognize it right away. You're going to stand on one leg. The opposite leg is going to open to the side, and you're going to take this foot and put it somewhere on the inside of the leg, either on the calf. Just avoid the knee. Just don't put pressure on the knee. And then take your time, find your focal point and balance. And then do anything you want with your arms. And breathe. Now, it's better to use something to get your balance and then let go than not to get it at all. Okay, so if you're just learning tree, it's a bit tricky when you're first learning it. So get help. There's no cheating in yoga. Lift your foot. You don't have to put it so high either. You can put it on the calf. And then once you have your balance, then find your focal point and let go. And then if you want to lift your arms, you don't have to do whatever you want with your arms. But the point of this pose is to balance, and this strengthens your leg that you're standing on. Also, this is a really big core strengthener because you're using a lot of your core muscles to do this, or all of your core muscles do this. You use more than you think. Good. Good. And when you're ready, just trade legs, switch legs. And again, the opposite leg cocks out. The foot goes inside the calf or the thigh or the ankle even. Take your time, find your dristi. And keep on going. I'll be right back. Come on. What's that?
I said, do this for 6 hours.
Yeah, it does come easier and easier. It really does help. Oh, I'll get him. David, will you take him up, please? Yeah, he's helping you balance. So it does come easier and easier when you practice balance. And after a while, you're going to find it so easy that it's not challenging anymore. And then if you want to make it challenging, you start moving your gaze around. But you don't have to try that today because that's pretty good. Oh gosh. Okay.
That's your tree.
Back to our mats. Have your blocks handy, please. And if you pad your knee, have your knee pad handy too. She'll be quiet as soon as David comes back. Okay, we're coming to a standing. Tadasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come into chair pose, tailbone down. Legs are parallel to each other, thighs engaged. No arch in the low back here. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands down to your blocks. Put the blocks on either side of the feet. Right. You should walk up forward on your mat, Paul, a little bit because you want to move back. So come way, way forward on the mat. Yeah. Because now we're going to take our right foot and step it way back, come into a runner's lunge. So in this runner's lunge, line up everything, line up your knee, your front knee over the ankle, lift your right quads, level your hips. Think about a long straight line from the crown of your head to the back foot. Good. Good, okay. Put weight into the right hand, twist your left arm out to the side and up to the ceiling. Inhale here, exhale, that hand comes down. Bring your knee down, right knee down. Okay, good. Now, bring your arms forward and up toward the ceiling. This is the Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge pose. Hug opposite elbows with the left arm on top of the right arm. And then just push those arms behind your head and look up. Push your tailbone toward your back foot so you don't overarch the low back. Your back toes can be curled or flat, it doesn't matter. Okay, unclasp your elbows. Bring your hands to the inside of your leg. And we're going to come down to lizard pose. So your left foot is going to walk forward. You can use your blocks to come on down to your forearms, or if you've got really flexible hips, you can just come on down to the mat with your forearms. But you want a wide angle in the left leg. Wide. Yeah, that's good. Wide angle. Good. And you don't even have to come all the way down to your forearms. You can stay on your hands if you like. This is a hip opener. Maybe that's obvious to you. All right, now come back to your hands. Come back to your Anjaneyasana pose. So line up your front knee over the ankle. Bring one block to the outside of the front foot. The other block is in the inside. Good. Walk your blocks back toward your body as you straighten your front leg. So this is half of a split. You can raise your blocks here if you like. You want to keep your spine long here. So if you feel like you're hunching your shoulders, just raise your blocks up so you can push your shoulders down and back. Flex the front foot. Nice big hamstring stretch here. So they call this Ardha Hanuman. Hanuman is a monkey god. But what this is a half of a split. If this other leg, if your right leg were to go behind you, that's the full split, right? We don't do that today. Walk the blocks back forward, rebend the knee. Okay, from here, lift your right knee and step back to a plank. Good. From here, bring your knees down, shift your body between your arms into an upward facing dog. And here, once you're here, you can lift your knees off the mat if you like, but your chest is open, shoulders are down, arms are straight-ish. Good. And then bring the knees down, tuck your toes, come into downward facing dog. Try using your blocks this time, just for kicks. Use your blocks and see how that might help get your weight to the back end of your body. Everything else is the same as you normally do. Bend the knees, stick the butt way in the air. Yeah, that's really good, Paul. And then squeeze the forearms toward each other, roll the shoulders out. Yay. That helps a lot. Those blocks help a lot. All right, so now you're gonna be glad you have these blocks because you're gonna kick your right leg up behind you into the air and swing it up between your blocks. Or pick it up and put it there somehow. Yeah, bring it all the way up. Or pick it up and put it there, this foot. Yeah, there you go. Oh, good. And then step up with your left foot. And then come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, arms to the T. Anjali Mudra. Tadasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come into chair pose. Utkatasana. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come down, blocks beside the feet, right beside the feet. Good. Inhale, exhale, left foot steps way back so that you're in your high lunge. You get your alignment here so that your right knee is over the ankle, not forward of the ankle. So you need to move your foot up a little bit more, Paul, or your hands back, one or the other. Yeah. Maybe you want to put your left foot back even a little bit more to get that stretch. Yeah, there you go. Well, when you did that, you need to bring your right foot forward because your knee is gonna, yeah, there you go. Now for a few seconds, that won't hurt your knee, but if you do it that way over and over again, it stresses the knee. Put your weight into the left hand and twist open to the right. Inhale, exhale, hand comes down. Bring your knee down, patting it if you like. And then come up, bring your hands forward and up into Anjaneyasana. Good. Okay, push your tailbone back to the back foot and grab opposite elbows, right arm on top of left this time. Push the arms behind your head, open the chest, and breathe. Okay, release, bring your arms back up. Inhale, exhale, hands come to the inside of the leg. Bring the block with you if you like. And this is the lizard pose. Now you're going to walk your right foot out and away so that you have a wide angle in that leg. And then come on down to your forearms or stay on your hands or use your blocks for support, whatever feels good to get that hip stretch. Couple more breaths here. Come back up to your hands. Walk your foot back toward the center and bring a block on either side of the foot. Bring your knee back over the ankle. Good. Okay. Now we're going to walk the blocks back, straighten the front leg into our half split. So the blocks will come around where your hips are. Put your blocks high so you can push your shoulders back and have a nice long spine. So you don't have to round your upper back. You want to keep this flat up here. So put your block on high. That might help. Yeah, there you go. Bring your blocks back. Rebend the front knee. Yep, good. And then lift your left knee off the mat and step back to a plank. Good. Now you might want to lower the blocks a little bit because they get unstable. Yeah, good. Okay, perfect. Upward facing dog. This is where your chest comes between your arms. Your knees can come down or not. Good, good. And then tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Squeeze the forearms together, roll the shoulders out. Kick your left leg up behind you. Inhale, exhale, swing the left foot up to between your blocks. Yeah, or pick it up and put it there. Or move the blocks back. That's a good way to step up with your right foot. And then inhale, come on up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in the T. Anjali Mudra and Tadasana. So I just want to explain why alignment is so important on these kind of poses. When you have your knee down, there's more support. So you can have the front knee over the ankle as long as there's some weight on the back knee. But once you lift the back knee up, that puts way too much stress if this knee is forward. And over time, that's going to hurt rather than help you. That's why I always say line the knee over the ankle when you're in a lunge pose like this. Okay, does that make sense? You'll feel the difference. If you have this knee lifted and you put the front knee forward of the ankle.
Show us that. We don't have knees, worse.
No, I'm going to show it to you so that you don't make it worse. Or you don't want me to make my knee worse. That's what you're saying. Okay. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. And step back to downward facing dog. Good. Good. That's good. That's really good, John. Good, good, good. Okay. And bring your knees down and sit back to child pose. Rest your head on something. Hands, you can rest on your hands or a block or the mat, whatever you have that works for you. Putting pressure on the forehead, which is the third eye in yoga, is your Ajna chakra. And that has a supposedly calming effect on your nervous system. Okay, please push up. Come onto your backs with your head facing toward me. And then you don't have to see me because I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do. You're going to place your feet on the mat with knees bent. Your feet are going to be about 1 hand length or 1.5 hand lengths from your bottom. And your feet are parallel to each other. And your legs are parallel to each other. Good. Okay. Now, relax your back, bend your elbows, push your fingers up toward the ceiling, palms facing each other, and elbows by your sides. Elbows on the floor, on the mat, elbows on the mat, into your sides, hug your rib cage with your elbows. With your elbows, not your hands, your elbows. Yes, elbows, there you go. All right, so your elbows are on your ribs. Now push into your upper arms and your feet and roll your spine up. Lift your hips. Yep, lift your hips, keep your head down though. Head stays down. No, other way, sorry. Head comes down, John. You lift your hips.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. Bring your chest toward your chin. Yes. So keep on pushing so that you can almost reach your chin with your chest. This is a back bend. This is also a nice shoulder opener. Okay, now roll your spine down. Good. Now take your hands to the top of your thighs. Push your back into the mat so your spine releases. Okay, now bring your back to neutral. So you have a little bit of space in your back. Elbows by your sides, fingers pointing up, hug your ribs with your elbows. And we'll come up again by pushing into our feet. Get your feet hip width distance apart and parallel to each other first. Yeah, good. And then now push into the feet, lift your hips, roll your spine up into your bridge. Okay, slowly lower your spine back down. And then when your bottom hits the mat, push into your legs, push your back into the mat to release your spine. And now take your block, lift your hips and put your sacrum on the block. This is a real crowd pleaser. So do this first. Before you do that, John, wait. Move the block, move the block. Okay, come on down to your back first.
okay.
Feet on the mat. Now you push up your hips, and then you put the block underneath. Yeah. Good. And your feet can stay down if you like, or float them up, whatever is comfortable for you. If you want to do synchronized swimming with your legs, you can do that too. And if your legs don't stay up effortlessly, it just means your block's not in the right spot. You just need to move it around, but it's okay to keep your feet on the mat too. All right, if your legs are up, please lower them. Lift your hips, remove your block, come flat onto your mat and come into your Shavasana. I'm going to Change the music. Get nice and comfy. Shavasana is a pose that is a pose that can be used for meditation, but it's a relaxation pose. Focus on the breath. Slow down, breathe. Tell people if this hurts your back, put that bolster and put it underneath your knees. Other people tell me that they feel like that too. Please bring your awareness back to your breathing. Deepen your breath as you make small movements to gently wake up your body. And then please bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And now please very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push up to seated. And please join me with the closing chant. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Victory to the Cat Rock Yoga class and the inner teacher. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Knuckles to my forehead, honors God. Knuckles to my chin, honors you. Knuckles to my heart, honors myself. Namaste.